Cumberland Gap National Historical Park covers almost 25,000 acres and draws just under 900,000 visitors each year.
I think that people really love Cumberland Gap with a certain amount of fierceness.
The park is situated right where the borders of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia come together. The gap itself was instrumental in allowing pioneers to access the interior part of the country.
That is why the park was originally established, was to commemorate the westward migration.
In the late 1700s, an estimated 300,000 people poured over the mountains through the narrow gap on the Wilderness Road.
54 million Americans can trace their ancestors as having come through this very point.
Pioneers left what they knew behind and made the rugged journey through the gap into the unknown.
These people were looking for a new life. They were leaving everything behind.
I can't fathom the courage that it took to do that.
Cumberland Gap chose to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Park Service in conjunction with the April release of the quarter commemorating it in the America the Beautiful series. That celebration featured reenactors depicting life as it was to the pioneers.
The reason why we do this is because we want people to remember history as it truly was.
Reenactors do this kind of thing regularly, but not always in a place such as this.
To do it on a place like this where it has so much history is really kind of sacred.
The story of Cumberland Gap is tied closely to the pioneers, but the park also acknowledges the bison, which created the trail, and Native Americans who used it long before the settlers.
They were going to other tribes to trade, and they were using this same passageway.
The Native American story was part of the celebration.
It's just an opportunity to share and tell an actual part of our history.
Cumberland Gap contains many natural elements. There's plenty to explore, including over 30 caves. One of the most popular is actually not a cave at all.
It's called Sand Cave, but it's actually a geologic formation. There's about an acre of sand underneath this huge overhang.
The park owns an unusual feature. The 9/10 of a mile long Cumberland Gap Tunnel carries traffic between Kentucky and Tennessee. It replaced the old road over the mountains.
There have been no fatal accidents traffic related within the tunnel. It's much, much safer and much quicker to travel.
That old road passed right through the gap.
3 lanes of highway, 20,000 vehicles passing through daily.
A reclamation project has been so successful, it's as if the highway never existed.
It is just so remarkable, so very magical that this has happened.
National parks provide natural features, cultural features, and recreational opportunities.
Cumberland Gap really does a beautiful job encompassing all 3 of those things.
Cumberland Gap, though, will always be mostly about the pioneers who passed through and helped make America what it is today.
You can feel the forces, you can hear the voices of those who came before us.